Welcome to a very special episode of Mike and Dave Hit the Stage.
I'm Mike, the Angry Wizard.
And I am Dave. Roxy could not be here. He had a small issue, and by small issue, I mean he had to have his circumcision done. They made a small mistake, and it took a little more than they should have, so he's now down to 3 inches. Sorry for that 50% discount. All right, anyway. He wanted to send some sort of video.
Yeah, I don't know.
On vacation from a pool. I'm not going to let people think he's doing something cool and having
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that. He's at home with a bag of peas on his dick. There it goes. Yes. Right off the bat. Prick. Anyway, today we're going to be doing all the stuff that
Can't be covered.
Roxy would not do. So today we're going to be doing
long songs.
Yeah. This was actually a long time coming for me and Mike because we do crap like this all the time, but we used to do it
at Roxy. Yeah, we would put a song on, go around, and this wasn't like when we had Party All the Time on loop where the band kept coming out and hearing the same song over and over, but the songs were like half an hour long, 20 minutes long, something like that. So, yeah, we'll put the album on. An hour passes, 2 songs, great.
Because of the songs you picked, I chose not to include some stuff.
Okay.
I think with every list that we cover, there's gonna be stuff I wanted to put on but didn't because I've either covered it in another form or have that band already on here.
Right. Like I purposely stayed away from Dream Theater because I thought you might go to them,
and I stayed away from Dream Theater because I thought you and I know all Dream Theater.
True. Very true. But
all the newer stuff, not so much.
Right.
No offense, but it just doesn't tickle my...
Yeah, it doesn't grab me.
It doesn't tickle my, But let's start with yours. And you really went right for it. not in terms of length.
I knew this one. I apologize.
No, I don't think you should. Because it's not
I
bad.
know you don't like Rush. That's the thing. Okay, Rush 2112, first song on the list.
Is that the entire title? No.
No, it actually the title is 2112. Then there are a series of subtitles through the rest of the song, which I didn't really copy down, but I could pull them up
The
quick.
Temples of Syrinx and Discovery.
It's Overture, The Temples of Syrinx, Discovery. There's more after that. I guess that's where it just cuts off.
Yeah, there's probably a character limit.
Yeah. But
this, because you put this on here, I'm like, I can't put Face Warning a pleasant shade of gray.
Why not?
Because I didn't feel it was fair because it's not one piece of music. It is one piece of music divided into 12 tracks for easy absorption.
Well, one of the later songs, the same thing was done with.
Elizabeth Part 1, 2, and 3?
No, one of my later songs.
Oh, yes.
The Healing Colors of Sound.
Yes.
The same thing was done with it. And that I was lucky to find. I actually really wanted to put that one on there. And I was lucky to find on YouTube Music one that somebody had spliced them all together.
Yeah. The splicing actually makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Because this, back to Rush in 2112, I talk a lot of crap about Rush. And it's more my dislike of them than their inability to do anything, because they're all phenomenal musicians. Out of this stuff, they're not my favorite. Honestly, you did pick my favorite, and I'll get to that later, but this was really good. It gets a little bouncy in places, and it gets a little noodly in places, but it is amazing. And normally I would make fun of Geddy Lee's voice, but in the context, it fits.
Right. And also the noodly part you're talking about in the middle, again, the entire song is a story.
Yes.
Of future society, dystopian society. There is no...
I hurt myself rolling my eyes.
I know. Dude, it's 1976, I want to say. 75, 76. And
I don't know what made that sound, but
okay, thank you. At least I wasn't the only one that heard it.
I think my computer just had a Windows summary. It's going to be one of those days.
I thought it was going to censor me because I was about to say the drummer had just finished reading Ayn Rand, and
oh god,
yeah, exactly. And this is based off of Anthem.
Okay,
But in Anthem, the idea of the individual didn't exist, and in this one, the entire idea of music doesn't exist. And that entire noodly bit is in the story. This guy, he finds a guitar somewhere, and he's literally learning how to play guitar.
Oh, that would explain the noodly bit.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes me feel a little better because I'm like, I know Alex Lifeson can play better than this.
Yeah.
I just don't understand it.
Yeah. And the story for this album was actually kind of funny because they had just finished touring for Caress of Steel. The first album came out, was very Zeppelin-esque, hard rock, like almost like a bar band kind of thing.
I could imagine
with
that.
a different drummer, with John Roxy on drums.
Okay, fuck him, I guess.
Yeah. Then they did Fly By Night, which started with first album with Neil Peart, started going a little more progressive, so, it was bouncing back and forth. Caress of Steel went really off the deep end on some stuff.
Which is the most power metal name for an album.
Yeah. I mean, like they have a song on it called The Necromancer. Exactly. So, and then the label was like, look, we want something more commercial from you guys. So what they do, they come out with an album where the first song is side 1, and it's 20 some odd minutes about, I guess, 20 some odd minute science fiction epic.
I will defend it just because a 20-something minute song can't be all Lord of the Rings all the time.
Right.
But it can be, and it will be.
Yes. But, so that's pretty much the way it went. So, like, even with an interview with Alex Lifeson, he was kind of saying, like, this was our protest album since the label's telling us this. We're like, okay, we'll do it, no problem, we'll do it. And we handed this over to it.
It's really just it's not even a fuck you, it's a full fist.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, it is good. It is not even the longest song on here.
No.
I noticed something. I did something because of my my brain.
Mm-hmm.
I put them in time order. They got progressively shorter for me.
Oh,
like my songs.
Okay.
Because that's how my brain works.
Okay. But I was like, no, but my next song is actually shorter than this one.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
So my first choice was, and this is actually one of the things I'm like, I have to do it. I can't stop myself. The Odyssey by Symphony X.
Okay.
Now, what did you think?
Okay, first thing on it.
Oh no.
I didn't hate it, but it just was a little. I never really got into Symphony X.
Obviously.
And the opening trills on it, you're gonna probably want to throw something at me.
With
like
the orchestral?
the orchestral trills. It sounded like the opening of Dynasty.
No, that's not something I'd beat you up about. It is because they don't have an orchestra.
Right.
These are guys from Jersey.
Yeah.
The singer's was the Black Knight from medieval times.
Right.
Still funny.
On stage swinging the sword.
They don't have an orchestra to back them.
Right.
This is all programmed.
Okay, makes sense there.
Their keyboardist.
That's one thing I was going to ask. Did Jordan Rudess play on this?
No, this is actually their keyboardist.
Okay,
Jason.
And then I'm sorry.
Rulo?
I have no idea.
Pinella.
I made a point of not looking things up as much as possible.
There's only one list I looked stuff up, and it was literally to start yelling at you. Literally just to yell.
I think I know what song.
I know exactly which one, and you know it already.
It's the list or just song. Well,
Maybe both. I'm not getting
we'll get to it later.
But
all right.
with the Odyssey, what did you feel?
I liked it, but it's like I didn't hate it.
Okay,
but it's not something I would go back to. But what I wanted to ask, what year did this come out in comparison to 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence?
This is like 2004, 5.
Okay, so after 6 Degrees.
Probably.
Because a lot of the keyboard runs sound like something Jordan did on 6 Degrees. The keyboard sounds, the pads, a lot of it.
I don't agree with that.
Was giving me
the
that.
pads, yes. But when it comes to the runs, I think that was of the time. There was every progressive band was doing that. And to be fair, Jordan Rudess really does lead the way when it comes to the keyboard.
Yeah.
He is a wizard when it comes to it. He's magical.
He's the Eddie Van Halen of keyboard, basically.
Yes. I can't think of anyone who would even step up to his level.
True.
Like if they did, they do G3. Well, they used to do G3 every year, and it was Vi Satriani and another guy.
Yeah.
It would be Jordan Rudess, and then like two guys just
Derek Sherinian and
Kevin Moore. It'd be the three guys from Dream Theater.
Pretty much.
Maybe Geddy Lee.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do solo
he wasn't really
keyboard
a keyboard
stuff.
player. He says he's not a keyboard player. He's a
I've seen him play more keyboard than I've seen him play bass.
Yeah.
Remember, I don't watch a lot of stuff with Rush.
Okay.
He does
All right.
more with his feet than I do with my
Yeah.
hands, so I really can't knock him.
Yeah, and the other thing that got me on it was like early 2000s, so I'm sure it was real drums, but
Yes.
they just sounded like they were Pro Tooled to hell.
Yes, and that
But-
is a complaint about. I want to say the all the 2000 drum sounds from
Yes.
Symphony X
Well,
and the
that's-
guitar sounds.
That's my complaint. Yeah, this is gonna come. This is like my issue, like which is just this is strictly a me thing. Like with a lot of music from the last 20 some odd years, I'm listening to it and I can hear it. I'm like, that's either a drum machine or sampled or triggered or this, and I just don't enjoy it. It takes me out of the songs
Well, I know why. I know exactly why.
because it sounds fake.
Because you're a drummer and
You're
you
right.
can tell
It just sounds fake to me.
from my idiot ears.
Yeah.
If it's a good rhythm, I'm like,
It's a good rhythm.
all
It's a
right.
good rhythm, but it's kind of just like, yeah.
You're like, that's
Yeah. But what I had also put on, I think it could have been something with just like maybe the copy of the song that I pulled off of iTunes, because I'm listening to it on headphones and it was like, this sounds like freaking shit. I couldn't take it. I'm listening to it at home on speakers, freaking cheap Altec Lansing PC speakers, but it sounded better that way. So it could be where it was coming from.
so there's a thing that exists before. I want to say 2010, 2012. Music wasn't designed to be listened in earbuds.
Right. We had when the first time UFK went to record at Powerhouse in Astoria, we had the boombox test.
Yes.
The guy would RCA into an old school boombox, play it. Does it sound okay? All right, we're good. Keep going to the next step.
And now people are like, does it sound good in AirPods?
Mm-hmm.
And it may, but it's not going to sound great on speakers.
Right.
It's going to be too bassy.
It's going to
or-
be or one way. It's one or the other. You can't get both.
Now with this, I always found that the bass was almost in the background,
Yeah.
which for a guy like Mike LaPond is weird because he's such a great bassist. Their drummer, he's a good drummer, but I've really never heard a drum tone that I've enjoyed from Symphony X until 2010, 2012.
All right.
And that was their second to last album, Iconoclast, which is amazing and very different from this. This style is very, well, to talk about the Odyssey, it's based on the Odyssey written by Homer.
Right.
So it's a Greek epic. And, there's been thousands of things written about this and movies made about it. And it's just a grand story. And to hit it with, 24 minutes of music. And there's only like 3 seconds of non-stop sound.
Right.
Like 3 seconds of just like a lull. And then it picks right back up. And the keyboards, I've seen this perform live and it's amazing. Not their most amazing live performance of a long song. I had to choose down from 2.
Okay.
The other one was The Divine Wings of Tragedy, which is 21 minutes, which they usually do live. And it starts with a 4-part harmony.
Okay.
The entire band has to sing.
Oh God, can they sing at least?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good at least.
I don't know about I don't think I've ever seen the guitarist sing,
Okay.
but it's the drummer, the keyboardist, and the singer.
Okay, so it's not like
And the bassist.
it's not the Dream Theater situation where you have Portnoy singing and it was like a little.
Oh, I love Mike Portnoy, but live backup vocals.
He's gotten better with Winery Dogs and Neil Morris, but still.
Yes. And something else we're going to talk about on this list.
Mhm.
He's on another one of these songs.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
back to Symphony X. This album, The Odyssey, this is not the best song on there, but this is the grandest song.
I see what you mean. It's not the best song, but it's the most epic.
It is absolutely the most epic song
Yeah.
I've ever heard when it comes to this type of power metal. Until we get to the next track. Because you whipped your dick out on this.
What?
You picked
This one?
I didn't even think about how long Iron Maiden songs are because they
Yeah.
don't register as long songs.
And
to
the
me.
thing is, the newer Maiden songs are even longer.
Maybe that's why I checked out.
Okay. Anyway, the next song on the list is "Rime of the Ancient Mariner," Iron Maiden.
Yes.
Fucking classic song. All I put in for my notes on this, it's Iron fucking Maiden. How can you not like it?
It's
That's it.
hard to argue
Done.
that. I've had a
That's it. And one of 2 songs, the other one, which is another, it's a long song, but not as long, inspired that I know of that were inspired by Coleridge, which was Xanadu, inspired by Kubla Khan, by Rush.
And we're back to Rush now.
Yes, exactly. But yeah.
Yeah, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner from the album Power Slave. It's just it's one of those things. This is
it's like a 13-minute song that does not feel like a 13-minute song.
Almost 14 minutes.
Okay.
But it doesn't. It feels maybe like a 4-minute.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't drag down.
Mm-hmm.
And it has several changes that make it feel fresh every maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It'll go from verse to chorus, or even like solo sections have different feels and different like swings. And this is the thing that I know if we played, Mike would be like, this rocks, and then he'd go, but it's too fucking long.
Yeah, that's it. That's what exactly be his thing. He's like, oh, I forgot.
And he
about
can't
that
defend
one.
himself right now, so I'm sorry it's not an Operation Ivy 33-second song.
Yeah,
I can't even make fun of them. They're not bad.
Yeah, but this is it's just freaking epic. It's Maiden doing it's. I can't even say it's like especially once Dickinson came into the band. Like I can't even say like the medieval theming. But it's just because, like, you know, they would have because like the Trooper's not really medieval. That's why.
No,
but you know what I mean. That historical epic song.
But their historical references are always so specific. One, because of Dickinson. Two, because of Steve Harris. I've found a new appreciation for Paul Di'Anno as time has gone on. But Dickinson, he's what was meant to be in this band. Like, forget the person. He's the voice. He's the writing style. Him and Steve Harris do most of the arranging and writing, and it's phenomenal. It's blinding how good it is.
Yeah.
And live, they're insane. You said he had flamethrowers at the last show.
Yeah, we went to see them on the it wasn't Legacy of the Beast tour. Whatever the most recent ones. Di and I went to see them in Jersey. I want to say last October. And when they're doing Flight of Icarus, he's literally got a backpack on with a pair of flamethrowers, and I'm just like, he's going to set someone on freaking fire on stage. But he didn't, at least.
Yeah, I guess everyone knows to stay away from him.
Yeah,
and,
although at the
on the stage.
Although recently I saw something on Ultimate Classic Rock that he did something, like he went to hit the gong behind Nico, and it knocked it off the stand, and it landed on Nico, and Nico kept playing with a freaking gong on his back.
And that's unfortunate. You know, Nico had a stroke.
Yeah,
and
I know. But he's doing...
He's doing better, but
pretty good considering.
In I think he said January?
Yeah.
In January, Nico McBrain had a stroke. Iron Maiden's drummer. I hope he gets better.
Yeah. I want to say he's 70.
They're not young.
So if you're able to catch them on the upcoming tour, because it's the Future Past, I believe, where they're revisiting Seventh Son of a Seventh Son and Somewhere in Time.
Oh,
check them out.
The Weird albums.
Yes.
I love those.
Yes. Check them out.
I think the first album I bought, this is going to sound fucked up. So apparently when I was in high school, somebody literally brought a stack of Iron Maiden CDs, and then another kid beat the shit out of him and took the entire stack and sold them off in front of him. Like some sort of musical cuckold.
Oh my God. The first Maiden album I bought was Number the Beast. The second one that I picked up was actually the day it came out was No Prayer for the Dying.
Okay.
Which really is not a good album in any way, shape, or form. It's the first album with Yannick Gers on guitar because Adrian Smith had left the band.
Yeah.
It's not a good album. It really isn't, but it just has that, like that first thing that you buy when it first comes out. It just holds that place in the back of your mind that you'll go back to it, you'll enjoy it, but you can admit it's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the Black Album. Metallica's Black Album for me is that. It's not my...
Yeah.
I know you hate Metallica.
Yeah.
Now, I like Metallica. It's not my favorite album, but it holds a place in my heart as the first.
It's a nostalgia trip.
Yes. I think Black Sabbath, Paranoid is that for me, even though I like Black Sabbath better.
All right.
And all the Dio stuff more than that, and Tony Martin stuff just as much as the Dio stuff. I really have controversial views on Black Sabbath, and I know you don't like Black Sabbath either.
We'll get to that in another thing.
Yeah, I did a thing.
Yeah, you're going to need to actually start playing solitaire on your phone while I go on a rant, and then just freaking like muzzle me or something when we get to that.
So let's go to the next one, and I knew this was going to work.
Okay.
This is the Ivory Gate of Dreams from Fate's Warning, but this is the live version off of the second disc of Still Life.
Okay.
Disc 1 is A Pleasant Shade of Grey in its entirety, which I did not put because I thought it didn't feel fair because it is technically 12 tracks, 12 separate pieces, but they are part of one cohesive story.
Right. It's not. It depends.
I wasn't sure about putting it on.
No,
here.
it depends how they put it together. Because even if you look at one of the later songs, actually the next song on the list, that one is broken into sections also in the liner notes, but it's really just one song.
One song, one story.
Yeah, the way they put it out. And I was going to say, I see what you did with this one on the placing on the track listing, because the Ivory Gate of Dreams is a quote from the Odyssey.
Yes,
because
that was incidental.
Okay,
I hope you know that.
All right,
but it's also the next shortest track in my list.
Okay,
they literally go in descent.
All right,
but the Ivory Gate of Dreams is like the song. Like I heard. Okay, so Luigi, you know Luigi.
Yeah.
You guys should know Luigi. If you don't, you're fucking losers. Luigi once handed me a mixtape. I've talked about the mixtape on here of stuff, and there were 2 tracks from Fate's Warning, and I love them.
Yeah.
And he said, you need to check out this, but don't listen to the recorded album. Get this instead, and gave me
the live
version to look at, and then I went and bought it myself. And I listened to the first disc, which is A Pleasant Shade of Grey,
all the
1
way
through 12, without interruption, the way I think that most progressive music should be listened to the first time, and I fell in love. And then I was like, I wonder what's on the second disc. I put it on, and this is the first track, and it was a kick in the neck. Like, it changed the way I listen to metal. It changed the way I felt about metal, because it's heavy and it's soft and it's aggressive, and then it's laid back. It's got all those mixtures and all that big sound. There's no standard keyboard parts, and there's no standard there's not that standardized progressive metal sound, and which I think Fate's Warning has grown into over time, into a very unique place. And this is also when I found out who Joey Vera was and how he was going to change the way I think about bass playing forever. Because he is such a laid-back bassist, but he's so good. And this also includes one of the weirdest drum parts. There's the part where it speeds up in the middle and it plays, I call it a reverse pattern.
Okay.
Where it's like it always felt like those should be reversed in my head. In my head.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense in the real world. But in my head I always did fast, then slow, then fast.
Right.
And hearing it in reverse literally flipped my head.
Yeah, it's done like that just to add tension.
And it adds a great amount of tension.
Yeah, I loved it. Personally, I actually went back to, I don't know if it was just the mix, the headphones, whatever the hell it is. I went back and actually listened to the studio version because it was clearer to me, if that makes any sense. It is clearer. It was cleaner sound, for lack of a better way of saying it.
Yeah.
I was able to enjoy that more, but I know what you were going for. It's a more controlled
sound. And the argument that Luigi has with A Pleasant Shade of Grey is the argument I have with it. It sounds cold, processed, and mechanical.
Yes.
It's cold clinical. It's very. But when you hear the live version, you can hear the bleeding heart in it. The thing that I loved about the last time we saw, one of the last times we saw Fate's Warning together was that the studio at Webster Hall.
Right.
And everything had that tinge of emotion.
Yes.
Like it had been a rough tour. They were on towards the end of it. You could feel they're tired, but they're in love with what they do. It was amazing. And from what you told me, I thought they thought they were going to be the end of touring there. Like they weren't going to go out again.
Okay.
And then they decided to end up being 2 more albums.
Yeah.
And then their last tour has been, as of yet, their last tour. And that kind of hurts me.
Right. But I know that Ray Adler has a new solo album out. I would know. I don't know if he's touring on it though.
I hope he is. His voice is amazing. Yeah. Since he stopped smoking, which I didn't realize he was a long time smoker.
When we were online to get into Webster Hall that night, he came out to smoke a cigarette, and he's actually he was apologizing to everybody online because I wanted to do the meet and greet for the way that Webster Hall was running the meet and greet from. But I know we spoke about this.
Yeah,
that was time we talked about
we'll be out by the van. Yeah. You know that was the conversation at the end of the show, which was a fuck you to the venue.
Yeah.
Now we got to do it.
What? What's wrong with this one?
No, there's nothing wrong with it. There's everything right with it.
Yes.
This would have actually killed Mike.
Yes. No, I've played this for him before.
I know. But I don't think he actually stuck with it.
No, he did. No, he didn't pay attention.
And he did. I think he checked out like 4 minutes in.
Yeah, he checked in long before, like, and I think like 7 minutes in is where the vocals kick in.
Yeah. So
next up is All of the Above from Transatlantic.
From the album SMPTE, SMPTE.
Yes.
Which is an acronym for their last names, but it is also the pattern.
It's the
it's a test pattern for both photos and video.
Yeah, for MIDI.
It's also for video and photo. We use these in X-ray to calibrate the monitors for X-ray.
Okay.
To get perfect black, perfect white. Mm-hmm. Unrelated to this song or anything else, this song is All the Above. It is 31 minutes long, and it is one of the best ways I've ever spent a half hour.
Yes.
In college, this was handed to me. Once again, Luigi, you have to listen to this. And I said, what is it? He goes, shut up.
Yeah.
Listen to this, please. I took it, I put it in the thing, and I sat on the bridge at Hunter College and listened to the whole song. And I'm like, at first, I'm like, the singer reminds me of Richard Marx, and that is not an insult. Like,
really? I don't see that at all.
I know
and
you
I
don't.
listen to a ton of Neil Morse stuff.
I love his voice.
Yeah. So how I found this, I knew this band was in the works for a while. Because
you were also a Dream Theater fan long before I was.
A Dream Theater fan, and it was talked about. I could have sworn, I think he may have talked about it in a Modern Drummer interview, or maybe something like, I wasn't really on the forums on his website back in that showing
forums.
Our age, but he was still, or I read something about it, and that Roy Stolt was not going to be the original guitar player.
Who was?
Jim Matheos.
That's amazing. I don't think he would have fit.
Right, exactly. It would have been a completely different band. But what happened was Pete Triwavis, the bass player, was in a bicycle accident and broke, I think, one arm or both arms. I don't remember. And
did Roy Stolt save him?
Yeah, basically. No, but he couldn't play, so everything got pushed back, and schedules didn't line up, and they brought in Roy Stolt.
Oh, Jim Matheos is the guitar player for Fates Warning.
Yes. So I knew this was coming out. I was working at Roxy. This was back when albums were released on Tuesdays. Before now, everything's released on a Friday. Went to the Virgin Megastore, Times Square, picked up the album, pick up some other stuff, get on the subway, put the disc in my Discman, hit play, and I listened. The one song was my entire commute from Manhattan to Long Island City, and then the walk from the subway to the studio, and it was just perfect. That was all I could say.
You mentioned perfect. Album releases on Tuesday, which reminds me of the second biggest faux pas in history. Dream Theater recorded a live album.
I had the original pressing of it.
I did too. And I lost it in that unfortunate fire that took out my the basement apartment.
Yeah, mine disappeared in a move somewhere. I think I was like purging a lot of stuff, and it went.
So Dream Theater did a live album to support their Scenes from a Memory tour, and it was called Live Scenes from New York. It was to be released on September 11th, 2001. The artwork was an apple with the city on
as
fire.
The stem. Oops.
On fire.
Yeah. Well, it was also the Sacred Heart emblem that they used in the Images and Words cover.
Yes. So it was
a
very
play on that.
It was very apropos of their stuff. But then September 11th happened. They're like, we can't release this. But some stuff had already been shipped. Right. All the stuff through like Columbia House and BMG Music and all that stuff. All that had shipped, so they couldn't get it back. So we were lucky enough to have copies of it. Was that the DVD too? No, it was just
the DVD
the CD.
was separate. The
DVD was a separate separate artwork too.
Right.
And released almost a year later.
Yes.
But it was amazing. The live album was phenomenal. This, now to go back to what we're actually talking about, I saw Transatlantic at the Wetlands.
I was at that show too.
I know. We hadn't met yet.
Right.
And it was me, Luigi, and somebody. Some dude with a big head. It might have been another guy named Sean that we know. I hate that guy. Fuck him. He's never going to listen to this. Yeah. He doesn't like me either. Fuck him. I threw a bass at him once.
Oh, my God. Like a baseball bat?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like a spear.
Oh, God.
My 5-string LTD bass has a chip in the headstock. Oof. From where I literally threw at him like the spear of Longinus. I did not give a fuck. Yeah, don't throw your basses, kids.
Yeah. An old bass player of mine had gotten into an argument with his girlfriend that was at rehearsal, and he was like, "Well, you just stop." And he I guess he just like smacked, like, punched the bass, and the strap popped or something. It went down, strings down, the headstock, bloop, Just snap the headstock right off.
And
it was a 5-string also.
Because there is no such thing as a locking headstock on a bass. There's no using that until it gets replaced.
Yeah.
Back to Transatlantic. The name is actually because you have Mike Portnoy and Neil Morse from America.
And then Roy Stolt and Peter Alves from Europe. So
specifically, Portnoy from Long Island, Neil Morse from California.
L.A.
He's an L.A. guy.
Now Nashville.
Truavas is English and
Stolt is Swedish.
Oh, I always think Dutch.
Yeah. I always mix up Swedish and Swiss for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't know.
I'm stupid.
Well,
yeah, that's a different story.
I'm not allowed to say that to your face. The doctors told me not to.
Yeah, I know.
So back to the list.
Song. This is actually one of my Desert Island albums. This entire album.
I will agree with you. And We All Need Some Light was played at my wedding.
Yeah, that
was actually my wife walked down the aisle to We All Need Some Light by Transatlantic with no regrets. It is a perfect song. It's not apropos to a wedding, but it's beautiful.
Studio version or
Studio.
There's another mix of it with Roy Stolt singing.
Oh, the Roy Stolt mixes.
Yeah, which I think is light years better. I like his voice.
I do like his voice.
I can't stand his voice,
it's
but
weird.
I like it. Yeah. She says he sounds like he sounds tired and he's trying to sound like Peter Gabriel.
Sleepy Peter Gabriel. Yeah. Oh my God. That could be the worst sound I've ever heard. Sleepy Peter Gabriel. I'm just trying to think of him trying to sing Salisbury Hill while yawning.
Oh my God.
That's where my brain goes, to the worst possible event. Or Sledgehammer while trying to just like scratch his back and move around. Terrible.
Melatonin Sledgehammer.
I think I found the name for my next project.
Oh God.
The Melatonin Sledgehammer.
Okay.
It's right up there with the Benadryl Coolada.
All right, next one.
So this is Camelot with Elizabeth Part 1, 2, and 3. What happened?
Okay.
This is live.
Okay.
To be fair. So this is from One Cold Winter's Night.
Okay, here's the thing.
Oh, no.
So look at can you see the first line I said, "Oh, sweet Jesus"? That's the first thing on my notes.
Okay. It's not
I love Kiss. I love hair metal. I love all this cheesy shit, right?
Yes.
And
it is cheesy shit.
Yes. These lyrics are worse than that.
Yes.
Oh my freaking God. You know Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Vogue on Poetry?
Yes.
This is
that
worse.
What it felt like?
This is worse. This is the girl that wrote the worst poetry known to man, that somebody chewed their leg off to stop from dying so they could crawl away or something.
Lyrics and vocals by Roy Khan.
I'm sorry. It was bad.
Well, the good news is he's no longer in this band.
Okay. The singing was good.
Yeah, he has a great voice.
The lyrics, oh my God. And I was just like, and then I'm listening to it, I'm like, Venom did this entire content better with Countess Bathory in an eighth of the time.
I love this song.
I'm sorry.
No. I don't love it for the same. I love his voice. I don't care about the lyrics when he's singing, because the way his voice carries. Their new singer, Tommy, whose name I can never remember to pronounce correctly. I think it might be Kavik, but their current singer, Tommy, is so much better. He's got even though a less operatic voice, a better voice and a better writing style.
But musically, I actually liked this better than Symphony X.
Really?
Musically, I liked it.
And these guys have toured together.
But the lyrics just killed me.
Hold on, I gotta rub my eyes.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all.
It was just, oh my God, it hurt me.
It's not good, but it's still kind of good. But it's not good.
Right.
It's definitely not great.
I know I have a thing. Like, if I'm going to just put music on in the background and have it in the background and not pay attention to it, I could listen to this. But if you're going to have me sit down and pay attention to the song, and you know how I get when I'm analyzing a song, that I'm freaking dissecting the goddamn thing.
You do the thing I do where you just hyper focus.
Yeah, exactly. I just could not. not focus on it.
On this list, I had such a hard time because I usually do this in downtime at work.
Right. And then when you have a 75-hour song, you can't do that.
It actually wasn't that. I would sit there and I'd listen to something and I'd get so into it, and then I'd break my concentration to do something when the song was over, and then I'd have trouble getting back on the list.
Yeah.
And that was annoying me to no end.
Yeah. But like musically, great. Singing, great. Words, no. And now a funny Countess Bathory story for you.
Oh, no.
My old death metal band, we were playing our first show. I actually got into this band working at Roxy. Their drummer was leaving for school, and they're like, hey, you play drums? Yeah, all right, why not? I went, I jammed, and I spent 2 years playing with them. We do our first show. We run out of music. People are like, one more song. They're like, you know Countess Bathory? I'm like, no. So the bass player is telling me the changes on the song and giving me an idea of what to play through the song as we're doing it.
I had a moment like that at a show, and I almost committed an act of violence. My last show with this band, I don't talk about them. My friend Lou was also in the band, so people who know us can figure out who we're talking about. The guy decided one more song because he sped through most of the songs.
Oh.
So we had room for one more, and he picked a song I did not only not know how to play, I had never heard before. He picked Whole Lotta Rosie by AC/DC, which I was not familiar with at the time.
Okay. At least it's an
He
easy
goes,
song.
just follow me, and then turns his back to me.
Oh my God. That kind...
I could have, and I was playing a 6-string, you've seen my LTD. A 6-string baseball bat neck bass. I could have literally taken him out in one swing.
All right. Now, speaking of one more song and somebody being taken out with a bass. UFK, we're playing someplace in College Point. It was big place. They had a main stage in one room, another stage off on the side. We're playing the side room. I don't remember who booked the show. I know it wasn't me. But no one said anything to us about there being a backline. So, because this is back in the day where you had to bring your entire drum kit. Yep. You had to bring all your amps. You had to bring everything. So at the time, I'm using this big-ass, gigantic rack system with everything on it. No cymbal stands with me.
Giant. I've seen it.
Yeah, you see the pictures of it anyway.
No, I remember.
No, I got that. I sold that thing before I met you.
Really?
Yeah.
So the kit you were using after that, the one that you had in Studio C in the closet?
That was in Studio A. That was the kit from Internal Suffering.
No, I know that was internal.
Yeah,
I know that. I thought I'd seen you with a rack kit.
No rack. No, I would have
Rackless
like 15.
bastard.
I'd have 15 things on one cymbal stand.
That is true.
Yeah.
You did. It looked like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, it was like an erector set. But anyway, so the sound guy was such a fucking asshole. And I'm like, no one told us there's a back. Like, I don't have cymbal stands. He's like, well, I'm not moving the drum kit. I'm like, well, how am I going to set up? I'm not moving the drum kit. All right, whatever. So we set up the drum set in front of the drum kit. So now the entire band is all crunched together
in the front.
Keith on bass is he's setting up, and then the sound guy starts screaming at him to stop playing because he's trying to set the sound up for something else. But it's bleed from the other stage where I climb out from behind the kit, grab the cable, and I'm waving it in the air saying, he's not plugged in, you jackass. Whatever. So finally, we get ready to start playing. First song in, it's just drum and bass intro. Keith goes this way, Mike goes this way, headstock to face, hits the ground.
That's a good kiss right there.
I pick up the first verse, we go through, and that's it. Then at the end of the set, he's like, okay, one more song. And this guy was just being an asshole the entire time. We look at each other like, what do you want to do? Because we had 2 other songs on the list. One of them, Healing, actually could have made this long song list. So we're like,
this is the second time I've heard the name. I still have
Healing?
not heard the song.
I have it on my computer at home. It's Barry wrote everything on it. He wrote it, arranged it, told everybody what to play. It's a total Barry thing.
I feel like those times where Leo's like, I wrote something, you want to hear it? And he just play you an entire finished piece of music.
Yes.
And then you'd have to either learn how to play it or change it to make it your own. We always end up changing something.
But so he had, so we start doing the song, and it's long, and it's got changes, and it has pauses, it has this, and you see the sound guy come running up like he's ready to stop, and we keep going, and he's like, he's about to stop, no, and he keeps going. We never played there again after that. But
well, the idea is, why would you want to go back if the guy's a douche?
True. Well, we don't know what the sound guy was like in the other side, and who knows if he was a fill-in guy.
True.
You can't go by that.
Oh man, the days of playing at places, and Shadow had a policy of being nice to sound guys because I worked at Roxy, and we knew
have to be. The pigeons. Kevin would just go shake the sound guy's hand, put a couple of bucks in his hand. That's the way you do it.
It was always that way, and not because you want them to treat you better, but they deserve. They're really making you sound good. If you sound like shit on stage, it could be them or it could be you.
Yep.
But you want to make sure it's definitely not them sabotaging you.
Yeah.
And I've heard bands get sabotaged. I've seen the smoke machine of death.
Yeah. UFK got sabotaged at a Voodoo Lounge in Bayside. I don't remember if I told the story on here or...
You just answered a question that I could not remember the name of a place.
Voodoo Lounge?
Where I saw October Thorns play at the Voodoo Lounge.
It was either Voodoo Lounge or Crocodile Club. It was the same place, different names.
It was Voodoo.
And before that, I think it was like Jimmy, like my uncle's place or something like that.
Which is the second worst name of a place next to your mother's house over in Jericho Turnpike.
Yeah. No. Actually, I think they were the same owners.
No, your mother's house is like a restaurant, like a...
Oh, no, but there was a club out in Long Island with a similar name back in the late 80s, early 90s.
You mean like that biker bar I played in on Sunrise Highway in 2010? Strokers and Jugs?
Maybe. I don't know.
By the way, those are motorcycle terms, and they have nothing to do with tits or penis. I found that out when I got there. I thought we were going to be working the weirdest strip club in the world.
Oh, God. But with the Voodoo Lounge show, we roll in and we were splitting gear with Sudden Fear. They were bringing the amps, we were bringing the drum kit. And again, rack system of doom. Sound guy was friends with this other band, and he wanted to get them into we had a later slot. He wanted them to be on the later time slot, I guess, play in front of more people. He goes, all right, you guys, you're up next. I'm like, no, we're not. What do you mean? I'm like, you see that pile of metal over there? He's like, yeah, that's my drum kit. It's going to take me more than 5 minutes to put that together. I'm sorry. We set it up with, I think it was Mary that was booking the place that ended up doing a Red Zone later on.
Okay.
We're scheduled for whatever the hell time it is. No, we're not going on now.
Yeah.
All right, Sudden Fear, you're up next. And I was like, no, they're not. They're using my drum kit. And, whatever. So it was like just one of those situations, and finally we go up and play. The guy fucks with the entire monitor mix, turns on the light in the sound booth, and walks out.
That's a dick move.
Yep.
Now I know a few guys who do sound at places. I have never seen any of them do anything like that.
Because they're probably professionals.
I've talked about Joe, and if Joe really didn't like a band, if they were acting like dicks, he'd just fog them out.
Yeah.
Now, he wouldn't fuck with their sound. He was very professional about that. But if they fucked with him, he fucked with them right back. He'd blast them with enough fog to take down the fucking... It looked like...
movie, The Fog.
When we talk about the fog of war in gaming...
Yeah.
Where you can't see past where you can't see...
Yeah, you could not see your hand in front of your face.
Oh, it was bad. Was that Ferret that we saw?
That was one of the... Yeah, I've seen him do it to other bands, too.
Oh, man, that band sucked a bag of dicks.
Mm-hmm.
They were so bad. I looked at my now wife and go... I think I want to leave, but I want to walk out while trying to hit one of them. Like I was going to take a swing at one of them on the way out.
Yeah, they were...
I could have made it,
they
too.
They were not good. What was the band that we wanted to see?
Symptom 7? And then
no,
there was...
it wasn't... No, but there was another band...
The Priest cover band?
No, it was a bunch of young kids that were doing like almost like I don't want to say a hair metal thing, but they were doing like a more straight ahead rock metal band.
I don't
that
remember
they were
their
supposed
name.
to be playing there, and Ferret got on because
they dropped out because they had a family emergency or something.
Yeah, and then Ferret was put into their place.
And they fucking suck.
I remember this band. I used to read about them like on Metal Sludge. It was something like that.
Because that was also the same night with Symptom 7 and
Yeah.
Victim of Changes? Was
Maybe. No, Victim of Changes wasn't a Priest tribute band though. Victim of Changes was another Roxy band.
No, then it definitely wasn't Victim of Changes. It was a
I just
Priest
remember
tribute band.
they were a Friday night Roxy band, but they weren't a Maiden tribute. I just remember
Maiden tribute?
Oh, sorry, Priest tribute.
Okay,
sorry.
I finally got one where I didn't fuck up.
Sorry, I see Maiden in front of me.
We're not doing another Maiden song on this list.
So yeah.
So we
back to the list.
Back to
15 minutes
Camelot,
later.
It's so unimpressive, the writing, that we had to go and talk about other things.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about another member of
Transatlantic.
This is the Flower Kings, featuring Roy Stolt. That is his band.
Right.
Love is the only answer.
Mm-hmm. Off the album, The Sum of No Evil.
This is the happiest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. This one bothered me. It was so upbeat.
Okay. I could see that. The thing is,
I was getting nauseous.
His stuff is very, very positive.
Yeah.
This guy
HIV positive.
should have been like, this guy probably wishes he was a hippie.
He is a hippie.
And
he's the second hippiest and I hate to do this while saying it, the second hippiest person I've ever seen in hard rock, heavy metal, progressive music. The other one is Arn Anthony Lucassen from Star One and Arion.
okay.
The fucking hippies. I mean, like,
Okay, funny thing with oh no, it wasn't Arion. I'm sorry, I was thinking of something else. Was he the same guy that was doing the Jorn no, the Landy Alan Land stuff?
No, that's Jorn Land and Russell
Right, but
Allen.
who was the guitar player that was doing all that?
Oh no, I don't know.
Because I thought it was one guitar player that brought the two of them in on it.
Oh God, I hope it is.
Anyway, the drummer on those, you gave me the first 3 albums of that, like Showdown, this, and something else.
Showdown, The Battle, Showdown, and Revenge.
The drummer from that, Jamie Salazar, was the original drummer for Flower Kings. Just small world bullshit.
That is strange.
What?
No, I'm trying to think, because I'm trying to think of who's the bassist for the Flower Kings. Is that
on this album is oh my God,
good?
Jonas Reingold.
Okay, it is Jonas Reingold.
Yes,
he's
one of my favorite bass players.
And I was about to say that he is so phenomenal. His sound is so. I don't even know how to describe how thick the sound is, and I know that sounds. I don't know how to describe how dirty that sounds in my head.
Magnus Carlsen?
Oh, it's Magnus Carlsen. This is the same guy who from yeah. Okay, so I had put on a previous list a song with Dino Jalusic.
Okay.
From Magnus Carlsen's one of his albums.
Okay.
I don't know what band he's from. It's not Arn Anthony Luke.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah, Arn is responsible for Arion, Star One.
Okay.
Basically those 2 projects are what I know him from, but they are so grand, and they've had almost every singer that we talk about in progressive music
that has shown up on them.
Oh yeah, including
Neil Morris, James LaBrie,
Bruce Dickinson in Star One. Oh man, who's the singer for Nightingale?
Oh, I have no idea.
Man, Dan Swano. Mm-hmm. That's Dan Swano. Rob Soderbeck. Can't remember the little
Mike
name.
would be snoring in the corner right now.
Yeah, he's snoring now. I hope he has to listen to this, and he goes, "They're fucking my shit up."
Mm-hmm.
But he wanted, like I said, he wanted to do a little video of him by the pool, and I wasn't gonna let that happen. Fuck that. Show you having a good time. I gotta edit this shit, motherfucker.
But yeah, with
enjoy
this.
your circumcision.
And there's also a recurring thread through every song I've put on this list except for one.
Oh no, did I miss a reference here?
Yeah. What's the album cover for The Sum of No Evil? You're looking at it right there on your phone.
Oh, that's right. All of these you have tattoos of.
Yes.
So Mike has album art.
Sum of No Evil.
Transatlantic.
2112. And the vocal melody of a later song.
Okay, now here's a question.
Yes. I don't have a Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner.
I was gonna say, do you have anything for Iron Maiden?
No.
Like Eddie the Head on your lower back?
No. No Eddie tramp stamps.
There's something to be said about a tramp stamp. No
Too
matter
furry.
even what?
Too furry.
I know you are half a Wolfman
Yes.
transformation.
Werewolf by Midnight, that's me.
Oh my God. I remember the first time you wore like a regular shirt and I saw it creeping. I'm going to take my necklace out because it's now making me itch. Creeping out of your neck hole. But it's up here and I can see hairs popping. I'm like, where's it coming from?
That's why I keep the beard longish, kind of cover it
Yeah,
up.
he trimmed it down so it
I'm
doesn't
not
look
the
as
angry
wizardy.
wizard as much. But this song has like one of my favorite rhythm sections of all time of Jonas Reingold on bass and Zoltan Soares. Yes, that is
Zoltan.
SCSO with umlauts over it, RSZ. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Who
I
knows?
don't know. But
He probably can't pronounce it correctly.
But I've seen these guys live at the Bottom Line 2002, I want to say it was.
Is the Bottom Line even there anymore?
No, it's an NYU something or other building now. But yeah, these guys could just play their freaking asses off together. Fantastic. Like, just the music on this is, to me, is top notch. I know it's too happy for you.
It is way too upbeat for my loving, but it is to my liking. It is great. Mm-hmm. And these guys are phenomenal. Jonas Reingold. Okay, so I use you've seen the one pedal I use.
Yeah.
I want to take it to a place and go, hey, can you make me sound like this?
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to get that.
I'm sure
tone.
you could email him.
I never thought.
Okay. Back in September or October, forget when it was, 2009, going to practice with the Pigeons at, it wasn't Funkadelic. I forget which studio it was, but it was not too far from the Garden.
Electric Ladyland? Maybe?
No, it wasn't. No, Electric Ladyland's
Recording.
is a recording studio, and that's on 8th Street. Anyway, doesn't matter. So I'm on 8th Avenue, walking south behind the Garden. I got my stuff with me. I'm walking down the street, corner of my eye. I'm like, that's Roy Stolt and Jonas Reingold.
And that's when he mugged them.
Yeah. I turn around.
Gave the New York hello.
I turn around, go and talk. I know it was them. They had just played the New Jersey Prog House.
Oh, wow.
With, not with the Flower Kings, but each one had a separate band, and they were touring together. And
nerds.
Yeah, and then later on, Facebook, whatever, I was following them, and I had took a picture with them, posted it, whatever, and it came up in the memories, and I reposted it years ago. And Jonas Reingold was like, I remember this. That was so cool, running into you on the street like that, whatever. So, if you find them on Facebook or Instagram, try.
I'm gonna have to start bothering people.
Tag him in this.
God. See, now the problem is,
but it won't be hate. Like
it's definitely not
the
hate.
other people.
No, that is pure admiration.
Yeah.
His bass tone is so.
He does a lot of fretless work too.
Yeah, and I have 2 fretless basses. I don't play them very well. I play them well enough. I'm knocking myself down. I'm not a bad fretless player. I am a better standard player. Better 5-string than 4. Better 6 than 4. But yeah, no. It's if I could get that tone on anything, I would play that all day, every day. Because that tone is perfect. And it fits, like it would fit everything except for like Iron Maiden, where you need the clank.
Right.
Now that P bass, 2-finger as fast as humanly possible clank. Ugh. Another feeble finger is Jonas Reingold now. So I got Geezer, Jonas Reingold, Steve Harris, Joey Vera. I actually watched a video on how to get Joey Vera's bass tone. And by getting his bass tone, I mean, he was showing how he records, and he's using all these pedals, and I literally just screenshotted everything and adjusted pedals till I got those sounds.
Well, that's
Cheating.
the best way to do it.
Yeah, and he goes direct, so it's 2 direct boxes.
Okay.
And I can emulate all of that in that one pedal. Suckers!
But yeah, back to this. I know it's happy. All his stuff is happy.
It is.
And like I was like in my notes, I was like, he had put like when he did his very first solo album, because he was doing a lot of like prog stuff, and he was doing pop stuff in Sweden. It's a Swedish band. Doing a lot of pop stuff, session musician stuff, and then he started doing his own thing. And his quote was like, it was an album that had tried to unleash the forces of good in the negative, violent, aggressive, competitive music business of today. Reinstate the old hippie ideas lyrically and musically. And he keeps doing it, which is funny considering that I'm the angry wizard. I listen to a lot of happy crap.
You do. You listen to the most upbeat.
Yeah.
The second most upbeat shit I've ever heard.
But it's
my son
ironic.
listens to the most upbeat shit I've ever heard because he's a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, that hurt my brain listening to that. I actually just
zoned out.
No, I didn't zone out. I heard every bit of it, but it made me want to punch through this table. This is an IKEA table. I'll go right fucking through it. It just made me want to just jam my fist into it, which says more about me than the music. It's more of a mental problem on my part.
But if you're listening to this, you've never heard them before. If you're a fan of Yes, old Genesis, stuff like that, give them a listen.
Yeah, it's definitely if you're into old Genesis. I definitely agree with Yes. I kind of consider them their own sound because it's very upbeat.
Yes.
No, the Flower Kings.
Yeah, I know.
We'll get to Yes.
I was agreeing.
So let's go to the next one. This is God of the Sun by Sons of Apollo, which is the most recursive reference I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Apollo being the god of the sun. So for reference, Sons of Apollo is Mike Portnoy, Bumblefoot Ronthal, real name. Fucking stupid nicknames. Derek Sherinian, Billy Sheehan. Am I missing somebody?
The singer?
Oh, that's right. Jeff Scott Soto.
Yeah.
The incomparable Jeff Scott Soto.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that there was a Hispanic person ever in Yngwie Malmsteen's band because he was whitewashed the fuck out. By the time the videos came out for the stuff that he was in, he was not in the videos. It was some white dude with a receding hairline.
Oh my God.
Have you ever seen those?
No.
The video for I'll See the Light Tonight?
I never really...
Oh my God, it's terrible. The guy's got, it's like up here, and he's like...
It's a different singer, a different guy?
It's a different guy than Jeff Scott Soto, but it's Jeff Scott's voice.
It.
Yeah.
Okay. Which, we'll get to my issues with that in a later list. That has nothing to do with this song.
Yeah. So, this band is literally Portnoy saying, I'll start my own dream theater with blackjack and hookers.
Yeah.
He left in 2010, 11?
10, I think.
10. To tour with...
Avenged Sevenfold.
After the death of their drummer, the Rev. Mm-hmm. I forget his real name. Another one with a nickname. I hate fucking nicknames. So he was expecting to join the band at some point?
Yeah, I think he was he was expecting to join Avenged Sevenfold after he left Dream Theater.
Yes.
It's not that he was expecting to do both at the same time.
For the other.
Right.
He left one because he was musically burnt out with Dream Theater.
Right. And I think what happened, if I remember correctly, I think what happened was he finished the tour with Avenged Sevenfold, and then he wanted to take a break. And then Dream Theater was like, no, we just sat here with our thumbs up our asses while you were doing this tour. We want to do something now. And that's where it moved from. And
then we got the best and worst tryouts for drummers in the history of progressive music. Mm-hmm. Who thought Derek Roddy would be a good fit in Dream Theater?
I don't even know who the hell that is.
I forget the band he's from. He's a Florida death metal guy. He tried out. He's in that video of people trying out for Dream Theater.
Do you see my eye twitching?
I do.
Okay.
So he was in there. It was Derek Roddy.
Mike Mangini, obviously.
Mike Mangini, who ended up getting the job. Virgil Donati.
Who was a fucking monster.
But a douche of a human. Like, he's a dick to people. I've heard
met
more
him
than
once.
one account.
I met him 20-something years ago at a drum clinic. He was cool then. But
I heard another drum clinic story where he was just snippy.
Yeah. Well, who knows if he was
could have been a bad day.
Jet lagged because he's flying from Australia.
Also, the person who was talking to him might have been a dick.
Yeah, you can't really go by it. But oh my God, German drummer. He's in Aristocrats.
Oh, Marco Miniman.
Thank you. I don't know why I could not remember his name
because it doesn't sound German.
Miniman
you said
does.
Miniman?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound German to me.
Sounds German to me.
Sounds English.
No, it sounds...
Miniman. Miniman.
You saying he's a widower? A widowman?
He's a widow.
He's a widow man. Anyway.
That's why the mic was so low. I did all the mic testing yesterday with Devin.
Okay, got it.
And he was like, I don't know what to say. I'm like, yeah, neither do I. Don't worry about it.
We never do.
He's a little man.
Yeah. But anyway, back to Sons...
But speaking of the bridge between progressive and death metal, Marco Miniman is the drummer for Necrophagist.
Yes.
Yeah. Brutal. But in this case, this band, this configuration, Billy Sheehan playing surprisingly more conservatively, I think, in this band than anything else.
50-50 because he is doing a lot of fretless stuff in the album with because if you pay attention to the live videos, he's playing a double neck. Top is fretless.
Nope.
Yep. Some of the stuff is.
I was going to say he has two double neck basses. Mm-hmm. The primary one he uses is both 4 strings, but they're tuned standard tuning on the bottom, which is your EADG for every bassist ever, and then the top is the lower section of a 5 string, which is BEAD.
Yeah,
redundant, but I do understand why he does it.
Yeah, what the song calls for.
No. It's actually, he wants the ability to play the lower notes of a 5 string, but he doesn't want the thicker neck. Mm-hmm. So he said, I want the idea of the way baritone guitars will be tuned, BEAD. He doesn't want to play like a 6-string player doesn't want to play a 7-string. He wants to play a 5-string without the extra string. Mm-hmm. So he wants to keep that neck thickness. Right. So the only way to do that is to double neck.
Yeah.
And then $15,000
double neck
solution to a $99 problem.
Yeah. And the band that I did count this Bathory with, bass player played a 5-string bass. It was a 5-string Ibanez, but he didn't put the low B on. High EADG C? Yeah, he put the high C on instead.
So when I joined Shadow Demise, back then it was Drown in Blood. Mm-hmm. I think it might have been something even before that. I think it was Grid 9. Yeah, I don't know. It was before me. Yeah. I don't judge it. I think that's what it was called. So when I joined, the guy who I was replacing, Vic, played a Conklin 5-string bass.
Okay.
But he was missing the low B.
As in, it was just an empty spot.
It was just an empty slot.
Or
No.
what Adam did, where he put the higher.
No, he
Okay.
instead of going in a different direction, he just didn't have a string on there, and that just looking at it.
So it's
bothered
it's
me.
the Max Cavaleris situation.
Yeah, where
Because he
has,
doesn't have the 2 high strings on the guitar.
Oh, we'll get to that. We will
Okay.
get to that.
Okay.
It's not on this list,
I know.
thankfully.
I thought I heard him.
Oh yeah. Bumblefoot Ronthal. I hate that fucking name. He's such a phenomenal guitarist. He's another guy who plays a double neck, but his is a fretless
guitar
with an aluminum fretboard,
Fretboard.
and then the other one is a standard fretted 6-string. I hope that didn't come across.
I think it did.
Fucking Windows. I'm getting real pissed at Windows Defender.
Yeah. But
This is not sponsored by Microsoft because fuck you guys for keeping up interrupting us.
Yes.
It's both computers now.
Yeah. So what were we saying?
Bumblefoot.
Bumblefoot, yeah.
Played with Guns N' Roses. I don't hold that against him. I hate Guns N' Roses.
I'm 50-50 on him.
But
I'm not going to go out of my way, but
Did he
I
also
don't hate
play
them.
in the same lineup as the current drummer from the Foo Fighters?
I believe that was Chinese Democracy era.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. Tommy
Gross.
Kuflado? I cannot pronounce his name if you put a
Tommy
gun to-
Kafutas?
So I guess.
He toured
Yeah.
with Ozzy.
Yes.
Yeah. Not Tommy Kafutas. It was...
Isn't he the drummer in Foo Fighters now?
No. Here we go. Now you just get to watch us Google
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Well, keep talking while I
Yeah,
look.
no, I'm not. No, I'm going to stare in here.
John Freese.
Josh.
Josh Freese.
Josh Freese.
I need to learn how to read.
Yeah, really. Top to bottom, left to right, put
Oh
words
my
together to
God.
form sentences.
Backwards?
Take, Tylenol for headaches, Midol for cramps. Let me know if you have any problems. That's a Tommy Boy reference.
I haven't seen that movie in 20 some odd
I
years.
quote it daily. And he said, "How you doing today?" I'm like, "Chubby."
Okay, Josh Freese was also in Weezer and 9 Inch Nails. Interesting.
Fuck Weezer. I like 9 Inch Nails, so not fuck them.
Okay, back to Sons of
Yeah.
Apollo.
Back to Sons of Apollo. Bumblefoot. Oh God. Every time I say it, I make myself angry. So Ronthal has also done stuff with the Band Geeks out in Staten Island.
Okay.
Great covers of Iron Maiden stuff. He's a phenomenal guitarist. He has several albums on his own. Terrific guitarist. I think better than Buckethead.
Yes.
And Buckethead's kind of a...
I'm not saying he's
a
a bad
gimmick.
guitar player. Not taken away from
No,
his
he's a
playing
human
at
gimmick.
all. But he's a gimmick.
He's a human gimmick, but he's a phenomenal guitar player.
Yeah.
But I don't like his style.
Right.
It's too buzzy. Mm-hmm. Which you think the guy with the Bumble in his name would be a little more buzzy. He's not.
Yeah.
But this and Derek Sherinian.
Is Derek Sherinian. He's a big time hired gun.
Yes.
Remember the John Sykes live album I used to play at Roxy all the time?
Oh yeah.
He's on that.
I used to walk up the stairs and go, "Here we go."
Yep.
He's playing.
Yeah. But he's on that one. He actually played keyboards for Kiss on tour behind the stage because they don't want to have a keyboard player on stage.
That was actually, I think that might have been the same tour that ZO2 played.
No, because that was when I saw them at the Garden in 90.
90? 90?
90.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm corrected.
That was, no, he might have done the tour. No.
We're
the
talking
ZO2,
2000s.
No. This was back before they put the makeup back on.
Oh, God.
That he was with them.
Ew.
Because by 2000s, he had already played with Dream Theater, that he
Yes.
was doing Planet X and all the other stuff.
And he was working with Tony McAlpine for a little bit.
Yes. Was it Tony McAlpine Trio?
Yes.
Or what? Okay. And then there was something else that he was doing, again, with Portnoy in it.
Well, he ended up doing some of those like one-off shows where they did a band's
Like the cover sets.
yeah, the Beatles, and then they did
The Beatles, Di and I went with...
that was Yellow
Colin-
Mustard Cloud.
Yellow Mustard Custard.
Yellow Mustard Cloud. Fuck.
Yeah, we went to see it at BB King's.
I'm
with,
starting to turn into Grossi now.
Yeah, with Colin from Fall of the Albatross.
Ah, yes. It's another group that we should try to promote more. They just had an album come out.
Did it come out already, or is it coming
think
out?
it's coming-
I
I
know.
think
Actually, I do know this is coming out hopefully soon. This episode.
Tomorrow.
Okay, this episode is coming out tomorrow, so they are playing this Friday coming up somewhere in Brooklyn. I want to say it is a place called Purgatory. Where it is, I have no fucking clue. But I do know that Harold told me they were playing on the 18th at Purgatory.
That sounds completely made up.
Although it could be a fact that the place is so bad he's considering it Purgatory. But if you work for that place, do not quote me on that. I'm just trying to be funny.
I'm looking it up because I actually follow them on Instagram. It is a place called Purgatory. It's at Purgatory. August 18th. Mm-hmm. It's Fall of the Albatross for their album release. Valence and Splinternet. It's Prague and Pancakes 2. If they're serving pancakes, I'm going to be so fucking mad. Not that I want pancakes. I do, but that's not why I would be mad. That's just infuriating. Yeah, I can't be there to
throw pancakes at them.
No, I like those guys.
I know.
I genuinely like them. Like the time we built Colin's computer.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, all right.
Okay, we're there.
We'll do it.
You know, he did more work on his computer since then.
On his own?
Yeah.
Good for you, Colin.
He put a water block on his video card.
I'm proud of you. So proud. You're a big
now
boy
that
now.
Everybody listening has just turned the podcast off.
They stopped listening at fucking Iron Maiden.
Yeah, probably. So, yeah, back to...
We're not funny together.
I know.
We're just nerds.
Yeah, I know.
You know what happens?
This is going to suck. I'm sorry.
I say dirty shit to make Mike lose it. You don't lose your shit to the shit I say normally.
I just roll my eyes.
I get one out of you.
Yeah.
Oh, it usually has to be something real fucking bad.
Right. But back to Sons of Apollo. This is what Dream Theater should have stayed as if Portnoy was in the band and not what they became.
I still think they should have kicked out my young 10 years ago.
I'm indifferent to him. He fills the spot, and that's it.
I am indifferent, but they could have gotten somebody like Billy Sheehan or any other talented bassist. He is specifically, John Mayung is specifically talented, but he is wet wallpaper.
Yeah.
Very, very, very
bland.
He's Elmer's glue.
Yeah.
He's holding it together, but nothing interesting. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
next.
Yeah.
Spock's beard with the healing colors of sound.
I like this. I did. I love Neil Morse's voice. Spock's beard has... Wait. Was this him?
Who?
This is Neil Morse's voice.
Yes, this is Neil Morse.
Yeah, because I know he's not...
in the band anymore. They've had a total of 3 singers. He left 2 albums after this.
Yes.
Because God told him to.
We have a rule that I don't talk about religion.
Yeah.
But religion has led to the leaving of 2 different singers in this list. Roy Khan left Camelot and became, well, I don't know if he was already a devout Christian, but very Christian.
Okay.
And then released other stuff. I thought he quit music
Christian
altogether.
Music?
Oh, yeah.
Like Neil Morse.
Oh, not as good.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I was like, no. Well,
no, Neil Morse's stuff is very Christian.
Yeah. He has a concept album about the life of Martin Luther and the beginning of the Protestant Reformation.
Okay. Remember when I said I'm a nerd?
Yeah.
I'm not that bad.
It is a good album is the problem.
My brain immediately goes, Martin Luther, you know how to take somebody down a peg? Mm-hmm. You just add DJ before their name. And I usually use the reference DJ Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It immediately takes all the credibility away.
That's bad.
Do you remember my first Discord name?
Dr. Dave?
No, DJ Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And
no, that one I don't remember.
You told me to change it immediately.
That one I don't remember. That must have been somebody else. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, no, I put it up. He goes, "What are you doing?"
I must have blocked that out because I really don't remember.
It was bad. It was Dr. Drildo.
That I remember.
And then Dr. Dave. And now it's Dr. Cuchillo. Because I couldn't think of anything else. And my dad wanted to name me Knife. Mm-hmm. What do you got there? A knife!
So
it's a family thing.
It works.
Does it?
I guess.
Not really.
Works for you guys.
But Spock's beard is awesome. Mm-hmm. Who's playing drums on this?
Nick DiVirgilio.
Nick DiVirgilio, who ends up singing on...
later on the next handful of albums.
I was going to say, is it Snow?
He sang one... Snow was the last album with Neil Morse on it.
That means Spock's Beard is the one that I love.
Right.
It's nothing against Neil Morse. I specifically loved Valley of the Impact and Surfing Down the Avalanche, and that's all Nick DiVirgilio.
Yeah, well, it's not. Well, it's all him singing, but it's not him writing. Because they actually started bringing the first album without Neil Morris was called Feel Euphoria, and it was it was a little rough, but they were bringing outside writers in and this because they were just trying to get their feet under themselves again.
Yeah.
After it happened, and Spock's Beard is a fantastic album, and then they have another album X10. Like their 10th album, which was...
I can't make fun of that because Symphony X, their 5th album is called V or 5.
Yeah, well, look at Chicago. Every album is numbered,
Do I really want to look at Chicago?
I like them. But anyway, but those two are fantastic albums. But at that point, even though it's the same musicians, it's a very different band sound-wise by that point.
Oh, yeah. No, this is one of those bands that you can hear evolve. And by the way, the Star Trek reference that this takes their name from is hilarious.
And you know how it happened?
No.
It was Neil Morris, Nick DiVirgilio, their wives or girlfriend, respective wives and girlfriends at the time, and I forget who else. Actually, I think... No.
You got to both take out your wife and your girlfriend.
No, I was going to say, I think Kevin Gilbert was there, but he had already passed by this point.
Please don't choke yourself while masturbating.
Yeah.
You did it. You brought him up.
I know. I didn't mean to do it like that, but
yeah, you
anyway,
did.
It was like one of those nights where everything was just like it was happening opposite. Like, like everything was just going wrong, things weren't going right, everything was backwards. They're like, "Oh, it's like that episode of Star Trek where Spock had the beard." And
Spock's beard.
There you go.
I already forgot the name of the band I wanted to use. Oh god. It was inappropriate. Something Hammer. Melatonin Hammer. There we go. Yes. That's all right. I'll get it off the recording at the end. Either way, Melatonin Hammer coming soon, all over you. See, it doesn't affect you the same way.
I've been listening to this for over 20 years. It doesn't
faze
me anymore.
I have to say something really fucking dirty to get
It's like
him.
at the games, you say random things, everybody out the table's cracking up, and I'm just
like, Jesus Christ.
Come on, really?
You and Jenny's just like, I said yes to this idiot? I don't know how to stop that.
Can you mute this system? We'll fuck around with it later.
Yeah, fuck it. We're almost done with this one.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, it has not taken us 3 hours to go through
2 hours worth of music.
You want to try that again? 3 hours, 11 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
You know why? Because I skipped my stuff because I've been listening to it for years because a bunch, like all my songs on this list are also all with the exception of Rime of the Ancient Mariner, are all taking me back to Roxy.
Yeah.
End of the night, bands are finishing up. I would just purposely put some like Flower King, Spock's Beard, something lighter, more, I don't even want to say positive, but just lighter, more airy, more translate more like even like kind of wake you up kind of thing.
To get you up and out.
Because it was 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, had to start getting ready to get out of there. So I've heard these songs so many times that I don't need to go back to it. I mean, like I still listen to it, but I don't need to.
Which, are you ready for the last track?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Also, the band, with Heart of the Sunrise. So, this was the first Yes song I had heard that I knew what it was.
Okay.
I had heard Roundabout before, but I didn't know what it was at the time.
Okay. Owner of a Lonely Heart.
Yeah, I heard it, but I didn't register it as being Yes. It still doesn't feel like a Yes song to me because it's so poppy.
Yeah.
This is not.
Right.
This is straight up just intense progressive. And this is another one of those things where when I heard it, it just touched a place in my heart that was like, I want to hear this forever.
Yeah.
And the lyrics, I'm not a huge fan of his voice.
I'm okay with it, but the thing is, I like Rush. I'm fine with the high pitch.
It wasn't the high pitch. It was where it was in the mix that felt funny to me.
All right, I can see that.
It's not a problem with the voice. Years later, I heard the Band Geeks cover this.
Okay.
And hearing a female sing this was even better.
Okay.
Because she has an airy voice and yet still powerful, and it cut through differently. And the Band Geeks usually try to do everything as close to the original as possible.
The other thing is also, what year was this?
Oh, I have no idea.
But I'm just saying technology-wise.
Oh, yeah, no, I know technology's not on my side there.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. It's one of those things, like, they probably recorded this on an 8-track board.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about, like, 8 channels per thing. It's just, like, 8 tracks, that's everything.
Yeah, also funny is I went to look it up, and it's, like, 1992. I'm like, fuck you, no, it's not. Yeah, it was a remaster. and not even close.
Yeah.
He's got it. Don't worry. But this,
I want to say 71.
it can't be that early. It can't be 71. I'll say 75.
71.
Fuck.
Longest song off Yes's 71 album, Fragile.
Fucking so good.
Yeah. The only complaint I have on this song is it is not close to the edge. Just because I love that song.
It is a good song.
That's the only complaint I can come up with it. It is freaking perfect.
I get so much shit from other people like, "What you like? Yes, but you don't like Rush." Correct.
But it's different. They're
It's
different
just a
bands.
different feel.
It's different feels. It's different band. Yes is a lot more. To me anyway, falls a lot more into the Flower Kings hippie mentality with a lot of this stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
And Rush is more
Dungeons and Dragons and
not
fantasy.
Really, not really.
I don't know. Every D&D comment I've ever heard has the word Rush in it or in the background.
That's like 3 songs.
Oh, I don't think it's specifically about the songs. I think it's the type of music and the type of environment that it kind of gives.
Maybe
I don't think the music is that level of fantasy for me.
Yeah.
I think of like D&D music where it would be
Bardcore.
fuck you. Oh, go fuck yourself. There is a stick in the other room. Oh god, I hate that shit. No, what I meant is more like Iron Maiden, Symphony X, Camelot.
Yeah, for me, Maiden is more D&D music.
Nightwish,
Manowar is more D&D music.
Oh
but
god,
I'm not saying Manowar is good. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Joey DeMeo fucking finger fucking a bass.
But yeah, but back to Yes.
It's fucking terrible, and a piccolo bass in it. Yeah, no, this is amazing. Yes is phenomenal. This is another one of those bass tones that I can't replicate because I don't play with a pick.
Is it using a Rick also?
He's using a Rickenbacker, which has that double output.
Mm-hmm. And it's got that extra twang to it.
The twink.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
He didn't want to say the twink.
No, it's twang.
Yeah, no, there's a Rickenbacker tone that literally they call the Ricco sound. It's actually on the output jack.
Yeah.
It's completely different than most other basses. And it made, like, when you say Rickenbacker, I actually don't think of this, even though I should. Mm-hmm. I think of when Paul Gilbert was doing the Racer X stuff and he was doing instructional videos. In between songs, he'd have a band, and that band would play Racer X songs. They'd play, Tesla, not Tesla songs, Mr. Big songs. And one of them was Scarified, and Marco Miniman on drums, and their bassist was playing the ugliest standard colored burst Rick.
Okay.
It's just standard.
Yeah. Like a tobacco burst kind of thing?
Yeah.
Or the sunburst?
Tobacco.
Okay.
I hate tobacco burst colors. It just rubs me the wrong way.
Just to stay on the Rick thing for 1 second, Dave Miros, bass player of Spock's Beard, plays a Rick, but changed the pickups out to P bass pickups.
That's funny, because I don't know if that affects the sound as much as the split outputs.
Right.
Because they're actually more than, if you count this, I don't know what Jonas Reingold was playing. It looked custom.
Yamaha.
Nobody plays Yamahas, which is crazy, except for
John Mayung used to.
John Mayung used to. Billy Sheehan does.
Yes.
But his is set up like a Rick with dual outputs. Mm-hmm. But nothing special about the outputs. It's literally 1-to-1 pickup, 1 to the other, and volume for both.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, but I won't spend $4,000 on a 4-string bass. I refuse. No, fuck that. But I love... Okay, so this tone doesn't work. This bass tone doesn't work in any other style of music or any other song. I don't think it works. Like, it doesn't feel like it would work with, like, I guess Iron Maiden.
Maiden it wouldn't, but it works with Rush. Plug that bass tone into YYZ.
Which he plays. He used to play a Rick.
He was playing a Rick at
but
that
he plays
point.
a jazz bass now.
Yes.
No, Rush.
Yeah. Correct.
I couldn't stop myself. I could not stop. Geddy Lee played
a jazz,
a Rickenbacker and now plays a Fender Jazz.
And then he moved to a Steinberg for a bit in the 80s. Okay, true story. I'm walking down the street in Manhattan last week. I hear guitar, and I'm figuring it's a guy sitting on the corner somewhere playing. No, this guy crosses the street coming towards me. Like, not me in particular, it just happens that I'm going this way and he's coming this way. Kind of looks like Jeff from Roxy a little bit, but it's definitely not him because he's way too young to be Jeff. He's got a practice amp over his shoulder, and he's playing a red Steinberg.
Headless.
Yeah.
Because Steinbergs are headless.
Yeah. One of the I just stopped. I was like, dude, I love your fucking guitar. He's like, thanks. They just keeps playing guitar walking down the street.
That is one of the most hipster things I've ever heard.
But I don't care.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I can't make fun. There's technically a headless bass in my house.
Okay. But is that because you broke it off?
No.
Okay.
It's a Kiesel.
Do not know them.
Kiesel's a custom guitar. It used to be they bought a was it not PV? What brand did Vi use that guitar head that exploded?
I have no idea.
You don't remember those? They used to burn.
No. On purpose?
No. It was like him, John Patitucci. Crate. Was it Crate? No.
Carvin?
Carvin.
Okay.
So Carvin was bought out by Kiesel.
Okay.
And now everything they do is custom. So
Yeah.
look up Kiesel. They're very specific shapes and styles.
One of my old guitar players had a custom Carvin ages ago. This is back when you get the little catalog in the mail. It was like freaking 93, 94.
Oh man, I remember those days. Looking for basses. Now those are the standards, but when you start looking at the Vader and the I think it's Vader Osiris.
Okay.
Zeus.
One band that used to come through Roxy, Possible Logic, Joe Kyle on guitar.
Oh yeah, I remember Joe Kyle.
He had the Steinberg like this, with the Kiesel Vader body. But
that is the bass that is sitting. That is the body shape for the bass that is sitting in my house.
But he had MIDI.
Not mine.
He had MIDI pickups put into it.
Also very fucking weird.
Yeah.
That's a lot of tonal possibilities, but none of them very great.
No, it was fantastic.
I mean, for him.
No, he didn't use an amp. He actually would keep a like kind of what Fall the Albatross uses their self-powered PA speakers for their guitars. He would keep he'd have two of them there, hook it up, whatever. He was playing keyboard. He was like basically like a synth player, but add a guitar.
Yeah, that's a way to do it.
Yeah.
Those guys follow the Albatross. They also use Helix.
Yeah.
The Helix pedals, which are whatever you want them to be.
It's a supercomputer in a foot pedal.
And I at home I use a small version. I use the Stomp version because I don't need the onboard controls. I don't change a lot of settings when I play. Nowadays it's mostly just practice. I want to do something, but my brain doesn't let me. But I can never get that yes sound. Even buying Rick Beato.
Yeah.
If you don't know Rick Beato, look him up on YouTube. He sells patches for these effect units.
Okay.
So I bought the Stomp ones for him. It's like I think it's like 10 different settings. Mm-hmm. No IRs, no impulse responses, but these nearly sounding like settings. And he gets pretty close. The only one I don't agree with was his Lemmy.
All right.
It just doesn't I can't.
It's not dirty enough.
It's so dirty that you can't hear the notes. But I think that's also because Lemmy played a Rickenbacker
through a Marshall
amp. I don't even think that was a bass amp. It was just a guitar amp with 10. I think it was was it 10 8-inch speakers? Something ridiculous.
I think so.
Something gaudy and absurd. Yeah. It was beautiful. At the same time, it was disastrous. But yeah, back to Yes again.
Yes.
They're phenomenal. This, they thought, I want this played at my funeral. Mm-hmm. This might be what I want played at my funeral, just to confuse the shit out of people.
All right.
A little death metal, some of this.
I'm trying to think of what I would want now. It's not working right.
Just Damone.
Nah. Maybe I don't know. Maybe some Steel Panther.
Some white. Is it Community Property?
Nah.
Glory Hole?
Nah.
Gangbang at the Old Folks Home?
Nah.
Everything Steel Panther does is inappropriate.
Bad.
It's all inappropriate.
Yeah.
None of it holds up.
It ages like fine milk. All right, so I think we've bored everybody to death with everything.
Mm-hmm. Before we go. We were putting groceries away yesterday.
Oh, boy.
And I noticed my wife bought a sliver of watermelon.
Okay.
And I guess forgot it was on the top shelf.
Oh.
On top of something. it turned into
Did it attack you?
no, it had ectoplasm coming off of it. So we get that into the garbage, bag upon bag, to keep the stink out. I'm getting nauseous talking about it.
So you don't want me to talk about what I found in the yard at work?
No, we'll get to that.
Okay. I don't even want to talk about it.
So I'm cleaning off the shelf, and in the corner, I noticed my in-laws, they use half and half for their coffee.
Mm-hmm.
There are 4 containers of half and half.
Expired in March?
Close. 2 in May, 2 in June. I say this to my wife. She goes, just leave them there. I go, why? She goes, they'll yell at you if you throw them out. I went, all right.
Are they solidified?
I don't want to know. I'm not shaking them. What do you think? I'm going to shake them?
Dude, I'm getting nauseous just thinking about it.
So I take them out of the fridge. I stand them up. I take the whole tray out. I clean that. I put it back. I dry it off. I put them back, and I go, I'll see you guys in another month when they come home from Florida, because they're not home yet. They've been away the whole summer. This stuff has been sitting there. And I wanted her to text them. And she's like, they're just going to get mad. I go, who are they mad at? Themselves.
Yeah.
Like, they can't be mad at us for not drinking it. It's half and half. What are we going to make, fucking smoothies? Gross.
All right. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, if you're still with us.
You're not.
You can find Mike's Instagram at Nugs29.
Yeah, he'll be posting surgical updates on the regular. Not pictures, obviously, because Instagram won't let you show the tip.
But I think you might be able to find that if you follow him on X, a.k.a. Twitter, or whatever it's called now. And I think his username on there is Ouch, They Took Too Much.
Ouch, too much, 20%.
All right.
You feel good about that, don't you?
No.
Nobody feels good about 20% off. There's a joke there somewhere. I know it. I'm Basher.exe. We are Hit the Stage Podcast on Instagram, hitthestagepodcast@gmail.com, hitthestagepodcast.com, and on YouTube, we are Mike and Dave Hit the Stage. I don't know how to fix that. I don't think we're gonna. It's
Eventually you can, I think.
somewhere down the line, we're either gonna figure it out or not.
Yeah.
Everything links to
start
everything
a new
else.
start a new feed and call it a day.
And then we'll lose the whole 20 views per.
Okay.
I wish I was kidding.
I'm one of them.
Best. One of our videos got like 200 views, and it was the clutch one. Of course, it's the thing I'm not in love with. I'm like, it's better, but I'm not in love.
Because people probably were looking for something with clutch, and there you go.
But
they were looking to fix their car.
You guys are listening. I don't know if you're watching. If you want to watch, you can watch us. We look like shit.
Yeah, it's not much to look at, but hey.
I look like a pound of butter in a fucking paper bag.
Put it on in the background while you're working from home. There you go.
Yeah, if you're working it at home, you can always put us on in the background. Oh, yeah.
And on that note...
Also, Luigi, his band, now my brain stopped, The Weege, is playing a show Monday.
Tonight? I mean, tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night.
Or tonight as you're listening to this?
That would be Monday the 14th at 9 o'clock at the Let Love In Astoria. Okay. By the way, it's the nicest place. It's a quiet little bar. They play so amazingly. Check them out on Bandcamp. 2 days I've been trying to remember Bandcamp. I had to actually say it to get it out.
Or are you looking at it there?
Oh, yeah, no, that's also... Yeah. And
also, check out Fall of the Albatross, friends of the show. Friends of ours. That sounds douchey to say friends of the show. But
the show.
Yeah, but, check them out on Bandcamp. Check them out on social media. Amazing instrumental progressive music. Crazy stuff.
Absolutely.
Fantastic guys. And they're playing this Friday at Purgatory in Brooklyn. It's not giving me the address, so I can't put that out there or the time. Yeah, I heard that. I was trying to ignore it, but I saw you looking around.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was.
Something fell somewhere. And they're actually putting out vinyls for you record collectors out there. I might have to get one to put it on my wall.
Weirdos.
Considering that I don't have a turntable.
No, but you do have it on your wall.
That's what I said. I would put it on my wall.
A nice little wall collection.
Yeah. Basically, so do this. I have Apple Music. You got Spotify. You got YouTube Music. Fuck that shit. Support the bands you like.
And buy direct if you can.
Buy direct if you can. Buy at the store if you can, because that helps them also. Bands I like Bandcamp is another one. The bands get, I believe, like 80% of the money off of that versus like a cent on the dollar off of iTunes or whatever it is.
Yeah, the streaming services are really not doing
anybody help except for the bigwigs, and that's it. So bands I like, they have an album coming out. I buy it direct from them. I get it on vinyl just because of the nostalgia
and buy it in
factor.
Cash.
Unfortunately, can't do that when I'm buying stuff from overseas.
Well,
but yeah, but if you're buying from a band in person, cash is king.
Specifically because we want to avoid taxes. Because what's more punk than avoiding the government?
Right, Mike?
Here, I really want to put a right in his voice right there. I really do.
Do it.
We also want to talk about Acist, Joe's project. He's working on new music.
Yes. Joe, I'm an asshole. Dave gave me your number to call you like 3 months ago, and I'm just a freaking idiot because what happens to me is I get up early, I go to sleep early. I'm like, I'm not going to call somebody during the day. I'm busy at work, or they might be busy at work, and then life happens, the day happens, and then I'm like, I'm about to go to sleep. I'll text them tomorrow, and then 3 months later, this happens.
Yeah.
George, if you're listening, because Mike gave me your number almost a year ago.
I don't know who George is.
George Stella Madison. Yeah.
Okay, now I know who George is.
Same thing. One of these days, I'm going to get in touch with you.
One of these days.
One of these days. If not, just ask these guys for my number, and there, because I'm a jackass.
He is. Yeah. I can verify that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All the times like, I'll call you later.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But
I'm guilty of it, too.
Yeah.
We're all guilty of it.
Yeah, but I'm more of an idiot with it than others.
No, I don't think you're any more of an idiot with it. It's hard, especially when you have one of those early day jobs. I have an evening job.
You're going to sleep when I'm getting up. Or close to it.
What time do you get up in the morning?
4:30?
No, I'm in bed at least 2 hours by then.
Okay.
But not by much.
Mm-hmm.
It's not much of a... Last night, not so much. I was up till 4:45. Yeah. Good times. Just couldn't sleep.
Oy.
Anyway, for now, we'll be seeing you soon. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves.
Hail Halford.
Hail Halford.